There's a fundamental flaw in air purifiers that causes them to be notoriously terrible at odor and VOC removal, and they also tend to be quite large. And the problem stems from a lack of suction. And rather than address that issue, typically what you get is a lot of fancy sounding tech that does nothing to clean the air. And so over the past 3 years, we've been working on this problem and have built an entire new class of air purifier from the ground up called AirMend with a new electric motor technology that allows us to really shrink the size of the air purifier as well as get the suction to provide really proper VOC and odor removal. And here's the problem. Like typically with a carbon filter, you get a little thin sheet that you can see through. Or if you get granular activated carbon, it's only partially filled, like you can see right through it. And so what happens is the air follows the path of least resistance. It's not going to go through the carbon, it's going to go around the carbon, and so therefore it's not filtering the air. And the whole purpose of filter media is to filter the air, and if the air is allowed to go around the filter media, it's not going to do much. And so what we've developed is what we call a TrueCarbon filter, which is more than 3 pounds, but more importantly, it's densely packed and over 2 inches deep. And so there's no way for the air to pass through without passing through a dense bed of carbon. That's just going to make it so much more effective. The problem is the typical air purifier can't operate with this type of a filter. It just requires too much torque and too much suction. And that's really the beauty of our motor technology is it runs with much higher torque, much higher power density, and therefore we can run it at higher speeds without extra noise, and that's the difference. And this is our HEPA filter. It's the same size. The air purifier takes either the carbon or the HEPA. The purpose of that is so you don't compromise performance on either. It is really designed for particles, things like fine dust, pollen, mold spores, viruses, bacteria, smoke particles. That's really what the HEPA filter is for. The carbon filter is more for your next door neighbor smoking weed. You want to get rid of the odor. You don't want people to know what you had for dinner last night. You got new flooring or furniture and you have a formaldehyde issue, or maybe you have a paint studio and you're wanting to remove the paint fumes. There's a huge spectrum of VOCs, gases, and chemicals that our carbon filter is designed to remove. I started this business in 2009. I've been in the air purifier industry for 20 years now, and it really stemmed from my asthmatic son and wanting to help him and people like him breathe cleaner air. And it's critical that when we make a product, it doesn't have an ionizer, doesn't produce any type of ozone. You want to put one of these in every room where you spend an amount of time, and so we make it affordably priced, assembled in our Redford, Virginia factory. It's remote controlled with 10 fan speeds, and the lights automatically go dark so it doesn't disturb your sleep. It's also less than half the size of similar performance products, and so you can travel with it. You can take it to a hotel, and you can place it on a countertop or a desktop, so you're breathing the air at the same level where you're filtering the air. And for us, this is really just the start. Our proprietary motor technology is the platform from which we will make electric motor and motion control products better and assembled here. Really excited to bring this to market, and hope you'll join us on this journey.